Hey folks, welcome back. If you listen closely, you can hear the wind and the rain. It's kind of a wet, miserable day out here, but I don't mind. I'm not going to melt. If you have a look around, there's a pretty vast area here with damaged trees I got to take care of. And so if I don't keep at the chore list, I'm never getting through it. Now before long, and this could be any day now, we're going to have snow setting in, and all of this will be blanketed. It'll be covered, and I'll have snow that's pretty much level with the top, even more than that board edger. Anyways, we'll deal with that another day. This right here is the Range Road hydraulic board edger. This thing's relatively new to me. I'm not an expert on it yet, but I'm certainly getting there. What I've found with this type of equipment, it saves me an awful lot of time when it comes to edging boards. Now, if we look behind me here, I've got a pile of slabwood, or flitches, if you will. The boards have the edges still on them, and I'm going to take them off today, hence the edger. And then I'll use this wood for other purposes. The majority of this will end up as stickers to dry lumber. You can see a lumber pile over there with stickers in it. And in order to dry lumber, you got to have these. So I'm going to cut some here today. Now, many of you probably have cut these before on the sawmill, me included. But one thing I'm finding, a board edger is just super fast compared to that sawmill. Where I think the board edger shines is it allows me to set a board, get it going into the blades, come out the other end, and while it's taking it in on its own, I can get another board ready to go. Now this right here controls the belt, and that belt, as I said, is hydraulically driven. There's actually a hydraulic pump here, some hydraulic fluid that will take it in there. Inside here is some blades. You can see the blades there. And then those green wheels, there's two on the outfeed side, one on the infeed side. That's going to apply that down pressure to keep that board feeding straight. And then this right here is what's going to allow me to set the second blade. See that blade on the left there? That blade moves down and back. And that's controlled based on this, this rotation here. The blade on the right, it's going to be stationary. And so we'll adjust the width based on the flitch size we're putting in there, based on the width of finished product we're looking for. And then away it goes, taken in with that belt. So this thing's going to go in a hurry in a minute. You'll see it. And that's one of the reasons I really like it. I probably have a good, 40 or 50 pieces there to go through. And that will go through this in a hurry. It's also going to make a pile of dust. We'll fire up the engine here. We'll get going. Here we go. Well, there we have it, folks. We've got some waste wood inside the grapple, and then underneath of it, that's all the pieces I'll use for the stickers. What I'll do, I'll take it over to where it's going, and then just before I take it off the trailer, I'll actually hold it up with the grapple, cut it to its length, and then I'll just drop it in place. Now, there was a few pieces that broke there, as you could tell. They kind of got intertwined and wrapped around some trees. But at the end of the day, breaking one or two of them while using the log loader trailer is an awful lot better than hand loading all of those. There's an awful lot there. Now, this thing in particular has turned out to be a great addition. I haven't encountered any hiccups, knock on wood, to talk about. This thing's been a smooth operator, very reliable. The infeed roller, or the infeed belt rather, takes wood in very straight. It's not doing any of the drifting, and so all the wood that comes out is quite straight on the edges, and that's very nice. Now, I might down the road add a third blade to this just for doing stickers. If you have a look here, the two blades work, but from time to time I think I could use another blade there on the left, and from what I understand, that is entirely possible, and so I might do just that. I'll have a setup off to the left for making stickers, and then the one on the right could still be adjustable in and out for whatever width board I'm after. Now, these green rollers here, as I mentioned before, there's one on the infeed side and two on the outfeed side. You'll see there's a spring there on the end of each of them. You can apply more tension or less tension depending on how you feel you need, but I feel it's set up pretty good as it stands. Now, the blades there, those blades are working quite well. I don't notice any dulling whatsoever yet, but when the time comes, I can take them off and sharpen them up, and away I go. Now, another thing that I've been considering, but I think I've gotten rid of the idea completely now, is rollers on the top. And the reason I don't think I'm going to put rollers on the top, I want the material to sit there. I don't want it to inadvertently roll back this way when I don't want it to. And if it's not perfectly level, it'll probably do that. And so I think instead of rollers up there for passing boards back to cut again, I think I'll put up some sort of a non-stick surface. Even this right now is working quite well. There's a little bit of resistance, but not much. And that's just enough to hold the board there while I walk around, grab it again to pass back through. Now, with that in mind, I was doing an awful lot of that, passing back through. That's because I was making material that was fairly narrow. If I had more than one of me, I would certainly plug me down at the end there, stay there, and then I would stay here feeding it. Person at the end could take the material, sort it to the left, sort it to the right as I was, and pass the material to be edged again over top, just like I was, without all the back and forth. Anyways, I think that's going to do it for me here today. Luckily for me, the rain stopped, so I'm probably going to get back to some more outdoor chores. I was thinking maybe I'd head under shelter and do some sawing, but I think the time is near for winter, so I better get some saw logs so we can have something to saw over the winter time. Having logs frozen under the snow, blanketed in snow and ice, searching for those logs would be quite the chore. And I know that's coming with that winter, as I mentioned. If you did like the video with the board edgers, be sure to check out the playlist at the end of this one. And as always, do me that big favor, give her the old like-a-roo, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time.